Here, I'm turning it on.
Drinking the wine.
Tell me that one.
Well, my best friend was my oldest sister's husband's sister, Virginia Foster. And I would spend one weekend with her, and we played and did whatever we want to. I'd rather go to her house than for her to come to my house.
The wasp is out there.
Okay, y'all come in for a minute then, okay?
So
Nana's telling a story.
I would go home with her more.
Uh-huh.
So one weekend I was there, and Miss Foster and Pop Foster had to go to town to get groceries and everything, and he said, Virginia, you and Lorene stay here, and he said, I'm going to take the log out of the barn at the tobacco barn because my barn of tobacco has finished cooking. He said, I'm going to pull the log out and let it go out a little bit, and then me and Mama Foster's going to town. So we said, okay, we'd stay there. So we got playing around out there. We were 10 or 12, 13 years old, somewhere in there. And we got bored. We were sitting around watching that tobacco barn, and we got bored. And she said, come on, let's go to the house. She said, Mama made some wine for sickness, for bad colds and coughs. And she said, let's go get us some. And I said, well, I've never tasted a wine. She said, well, let's go get us some. So we went up to the house and went in Mama Foster's bedroom, and there was a crock, a big old churn of homemade wine. And we got iced tea glasses and filled them full, big old iced tea glasses, and took them back to the tobacco barn. And it was strong, but it was good, and we laughed and we drank it. And both of us was just as high as a kite. And she said, didn't Pop tell us to put that fire back in that tobacco barn? And I said, no, I don't think so. And she said, yes, he did. She said, I'm putting that log back in there. Well, and he told us, he said, do not put it back because the tobacco is cooked.
Right.
Well, she put it back. And we laid down on the benches and went to sleep.
Oh, my goodness.
When they come, the barn was smoking, fixing to catch on fire, the tobacco was.
Oh, my
We had burned up a whole barn full of tobacco. We were laying asleep on the benches outside, drunk as little dogs. And when he found out, he was so mad. And he told Mama Foster, he said, you get them up there, and I don't care what you do to them, but you punish them. And I don't remember what she did, but it wasn't good.
Yikes. Well, all right, what can you tell me about you and Ernest when y'all met and got married? I've got it written down, but I always like hearing it from you anyway.
How we met?
Well, yeah, like, and what you thought of him when you first met him.
Got a glass of water, Mama?
Yep, it's either right there or up here one.
Right there.
Right there on that table. It may be right there on that table.
How'd I say it? Oh, I can look.
Well, my sister had a new boyfriend. And he drove the Royal Crown Cola Bottling Company to see her. And we really liked him. And
this was James?
That was James.
Okay.
James Harrell coming to see Bonnie. But she wasn't old enough to date. And, well, neither was I. But anyhow, he told me, he said, well, I've got a brother, he said, but my two sisters married brothers, and one of the brothers died, and one of my sisters, his sister named Lorene, had died. And he said, my family thinks it's bad luck for brothers and sisters to marry. He said so. But he said, but I'll bring my brother for you to meet him anyway. Well, the next day he brought his brother with him. And me and brother liked each other a lot.
He was very handsome.
Yeah, he was very handsome. He was very kind. He was very polite, very sweet. He didn't talk ugly. He was just a nice person, just like his brother. And so James, since my sister wasn't old enough to date, he would come and sit, but Mama wouldn't let her go nowhere.
Yeah.
So he finally quit coming, and just Ernest come. And so he had an old car that would run downhill, but it wouldn't run up a steep hill.
Oh my gosh.
We pushed it uphill and rode downhill. all the way up Sylvester to a movie that was playing on Saturday night. It was continued.
Oh, okay.
It was a Western. And we would push that car halfway to Sylvester.
Oh my gosh.
Push it uphill,
Mm-mm.
ride downhill. And we just fell in love, and we just had to get married, and so he asked me if I'd marry him, and I told him I didn't know what he was talking about. And he said, I want you to be like my mom and daddy and your mom and daddy, and we'll be married. He said, I want you to marry me.
Mhm.
I told him, I said, I don't know, you'll have to ask mom and daddy.
Mhm.
And hey, come in.
Hey.
He asked my mom and daddy, and Mama told him, she said, I can give her permission, but I would prefer that she not get married this young. Said she's too young to get married.
Right.
And he said, but we love each other, and we want to get married. And she said, well, find out what we have to do. So we went to town, and Maddie Lou Ingram, one of the best friends I ever had in my life.
Mhm.
Later on in life, she turned out even to be a neighbor. But she worked in the courthouse, and when I walked in, she said, well, I know Lorene. She said, I know how old she is, but she said, Lorene, honey, at your age, you will have to post it right here publicly in the courthouse to get married. Well, that's what we did. We published it, and when the 5 days was up, nobody had complained or said nothing, so we got married. Yep. We went and got married. February the 2nd in Ellington, Georgia. What was that preacher's name? It was a strange name. Oof, I didn't think I'd ever forget it. In his house.
Okay.
I would tell you something else, but it wouldn't be appropriate.
Ooh. You'll tell me when the tape's off?
No.
Just kidding.
No. I can't tell it on there now.
Oh, come on.
No.
All right. I'll have to turn it off in a minute. It's about out of batteries. Let's see.
But it's not nice. I can't tell it.
All right, tell me about when my mom was born. What do you remember about her being born? Besides how adorable she was.
I'll have to think about that.
Oh, okay.
And I can't talk, too much without coughing and throwing up.
Okay. Well, say bye.
Bye. I love you. I hope you enjoy this, and I'll think of some more things to tell you next time.
Cool. Thank you.